marking centers on some Bacardi blanks for some turkey pots. I'll try to do them in batches. And put a dimple for my Forstner bit. Whew, better put them back on. I have a lot more calls to do. That one's going to be a piece of oak. They actually are very pretty. After we get our holes drilled and the diameter kind of roughed out, we're going to take it to the bandsaw and just saw off the corners. Makes it a little easier. That's ready to mount on the lathe. We got a new blank, just cut it round, have the holes drilled. Now we're going to round it out and get the minimum shape anyway. So I flipped the blank around. I've got it rounded out, roughed out from the other side. Now I spin it around, and it won't be quite as centered, so I'll spin it again and check my roundness here and see where we're at. This is what we're going to put in that. This is going to be a copper top pencil, and I can draw that. It'll get me close enough. My sound holes are starting to show up. That gives me an idea of how close I am to my thickness on the bottom. I drill them a certain depth so I can get an estimate on it. I like to have somewhere around 1/8 of an inch thick on the bottom. It seems to give it the best sound. So all woods are a little different. So if I'm a little off there, I mean, these are done by hand. It's not like this is a machinist computer doing it. So everything's a little different. So we're getting close. Perfect. So that's going to set good. It sets flush with the top of the caul, but it's just a little bit under it. But by the time I sand that down, I start sanding usually with this type of wood, probably at 220, and I'm going to go to 600, sometimes 800, depending on what it is. And then I use a finish that is a homemade finish, but it's combination of basically a powdered grit they use for ant killer, but it's natural, it won't hurt you, and it's mixed in with a mineral oil and natural beeswax. So I made up a batch of that here a while back, and I've been testing it, and it's really pretty good. It puts a nice finish on it, it really does. I got to turn that on for this. Sorry for the noise. So I'm putting on this, it's basically a polish, but it's a wax. It's an oil finish that will actually penetrate, and I'm going to, might remind you of a polished finish from French furniture, that type of scenario where you were doing it by hand for hours and hours and days maybe, but this, because we're able to turn it, we can spin this up and make it look really good without all the That's nice. This is one I was working on late yesterday evening, and those are the only 3 parts I found after it blew up. So I called it a day and went and did something else. Gluing in my soundboards. So I've let these coils sit for a few hours and took the weight off of them. Now I'm going to glue in the playing surfaces. This one is going to be copper over glass, and it's a little tedious, so it can be messy. Now I'll take that, set it here, put a bottle of water on it or a Coca-Cola, whatever I've got. Weight it down in a few hours. It'll be, I'll let them sit overnight and then test them. And, you know, if I like how it sounds, it's okay. If not, I've got a box full of rejects. So I'll keep doing that and have 6 calls ready to go, and then I'll start making strikers.